Hello again. It's Chad Broshears with Go Figure Holistic Personal Training and Ascending to Total Maturity. Today, I'm going to continue on the conversation about nutrition just because of the time of year and what's popular out there. So, some of the popular diets that are out there are calorie counting, which is restricted calories, and usually some concept like don't eat after 7 or don't have certain carbs or there's certain foods you should avoid. First off, yeah, processed foods, they're really not going to be very healthy for you. They're dead. They've been processed and then they're usually laden with preservatives, things like that. So to give you a quick little lesson on evolution and adaptation of the human being. This is a good one. So most diets that are out there usually don't focus on water, and when they do focus on water, it's not really a specific type of water. It's like, oh, drink X, 8 to 10 glasses. Well, there's a challenge with drinking 8 to 10 glasses. If you're 4 foot tall, 8 to 10 glasses could be plenty of water for you. But then there's also a factor of how wide is that 4 foot tall person. So it's body mass total, which means a pound count body mass, because even fat tissue requires a specific level of hydration. Otherwise, it would be hard and brittle, and it wouldn't have any type of viscosity to it. So your body needs a specific amount of water in order to detoxify itself, as well as run its basic survival functions and mechanisms. So the organs, the brain, everything about the body requires a specific amount of hydration. Now, the organs and the brains are considered to be the systems that absolutely have to have a specific amount of hydration. Now, hydration becomes a sacrificial aspect when it comes to the lesser systems whenever you are dehydrated. So the first two systems challenged by dehydration is digestion and synovium, or your joint systems, your synovial fluid inside of the joint capsules, the sacs. You have a regulator that will either retract hydration or it'll make sure there's plenty of hydration is there by its survival need. So if you're dehydrated, your joints will lose their hydration, which they're like a hydraulic cylinder. And if it doesn't have enough hydraulic fluid, it doesn't extend the cylinder. So the more dehydrated you get, the more your cylinder comes in, so that you're compressing cartilage to cartilage, and then your inner space, it's not separated by the fluid that's intended to be the hydraulic compression factor because you're dehydrated. Some things of caution to watch out for about dehydration, and reasons why through adaptation and evolution we are dominated this direction, is that in nature, whenever a drought occurs, famine always follows, because no water means nothing grows. We've evolved to this. It slows our metabolism down whenever we're dehydrated, because as far as the body's genetic code is concerned, it believes we're going to go through famine. So you must create a good degree of hydration in order to lose weight. By the way, there's a lot of other facets. If you're solely focused on weight, what's going on? Why are you just focused on weight? What is it that put the weight on in the first place? That's actually more the addressable thing, but that's not intended for this video. So your digestion also will suffer when you're dehydrated, and it's because the system itself requires a specific amount of hydration in order to ensure that you survive. So your vital organs, your blood, all of these things require a specific level of viscosity. It requires a specific level of hydration. And if it doesn't have it, it will take it from what's considered to be slave systems. It's slave systems because they're not dominant. It's not that, if you have joint pain, your body's going to shift hydration there. It's not going to do that. If you're dehydrated, you can focus on that. Like, so this is one of the methods that I use to work with people that have arthritis. Um, it's you just start adjusting certain lifestyle things and certain things clear up. So there's other facets and other things. It's not just as simple as this, but it could be in some situations that is actually what works best. But there's a great deal of information in this book, Dr. Batten and Elidge's book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. It's an excellent, excellent book. He talks about all kinds of wonderful remedies whenever it comes to water and surviving. Okay, so as far as nutrition goes, I'm going to keep it really short on that topic in this video, just because nutrition's a very vast conversation. Everybody comes from a specific place on the planet. You know, you come from your own place, which means you have a dominance in your genetics for specific foods that are indigenous to that area. And then you'll have other food properties that can be a problem. So if you have an allergy to your foods, the allergy to your foods in fact can make you fat, as well as slowly erode your health. So if you don't know if you have food allergies, by the way, a food allergy or food intolerances or sensitivities, all of those, you don't normally notice those necessarily. Like, they're there, but they're not overt and like, yeah, you open up the refrigerator and you get slapped in the face by a piece of food that your body doesn't want. It's not like that. Or you eat something and instantly you get this overwhelming headache. Sometimes that is the case, but it's not like that for every single person. So to think, oh, I feel good. Well, do you know what good really feels like? Or have you gotten really accustomed to not feeling so well, but you believe you do? So those conversations will be later on with more in-depth conversations, delving directly in at nutrition. I've got wonderful books to cite. I've got wonderful practitioners that I can, reference towards. But as far as nutrition goes, again, we all come from a specific place. If it's coming in a package, if it's processed to a specific degree, like, if it's canned foods can also cause you problems. But I'm not going to go into that at the moment because that's another big conversation. But processed foods, the paleo diet's kind of got it close to right by just telling you to eat clean, but there are certain factors about that actually are not that beneficial depending on your background, as well as there's some falsehoods in the paleo diet, referencing things like tomatoes and, there were no breads or grains or anything like that in the timeline. There were grains then. We had milling tools and all this other stuff too that we used, personal, not like some factory. And tomatoes were poisonous. All the nightshade vegetables were actually poisonous at that time. So people don't know that. I'm not going to go in depth on that one right now. But again, for this video, if you are dehydrated, you're going to have a challenge losing weight. By the way, coffee, tea, other agents that have a contraction value, like caffeine is a contractor and a stimulant, can actually cost you hydration. Not as much as caffeine or coffee, though. Coffee actually has a two-part function that actually can be very expensive on hydration. So my rule, basically, alcohol is the same. It's a toxin your body has to deal with. My rule is 1 to 4. So every 1 ounce of alcohol, it would be 4 ounces of water to accommodate and then ensure detoxification for that product. So whatever it is, tea, alcohol, coffee, things like that. But there's a lot to go into. But as far as the basics go, learn to listen to your body. It'll tell you by cravings what you want, what you don't want. I'll decipher cravings in other further videos. But again, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Oh, Dr. Batten and Elidge's book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Awesome, awesome book. And another quick one, Sally Fallon's book, Nourishing Traditions. It's a good one. It's a wonderful cookbook as well. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to talking with you soon. Oh, by the way, knowledge in action makes power, not knowledge is power. So put it in action, folks. Enjoy.